Hello friends. Warm welcome to new episode of Futuristic Transformation Thought. I am Professor Sanjay Raut from Innovation Solution Lab. Innovation Solution Lab working on futuristic business, impact ideas, research development and advisory, coaching, publishing, media, publication capacities. Today's transformation topic is school need to be changed. Let's start the topic. The COVID-19 pandemic has created a massive disruption in education across the nation and the globe. Among all the uncertainty about what comes next for education, there is growing certainty that we can't go back to the way things were. Is now the time to answer why schools need to change and come together to create better solutions for our young people? There's a fall from ancient 150 years ago big difference right stay with me here's a car from today and here's a car from ancient 150 years ago the big difference right. This is a classroom of today here's a class we use 150 years ago. No wait that is shaped in it's really more than a century nothing has changed you claim to prepare students for the future but what evidence like bad I must ask you first do this for the future or the past I did a background check going to win the records show that you were made to train people to work in factories which explains why you put students in straight roles next to low 60 raise your hand if you want to speak for 8 o'clock hours a day to look at the make them compete to get in a letter which determines product quality. The factory model is outdated. But why is that so? Why does our nation so desperately need to change the way learning happens in schools? Is there more to next generation learning than innovation for innovation's sake? When next gen education leaders articulate why schools need to change, parents, community members, and the general public become supportive of and involved in the work of creating new designs for schools. Answers to why come from all kinds of sources, statistics and trends on education achievement gaps, employer demands, advances in technology, changing demographics, and more. Learning science and educational research that demonstrate how learning happens and the conditions that support it. The fast pace of cultural and economic shifts happening around us. The documented injustices of poverty and social and cultural oppression. And then there are the stories, the struggling student who was getting more and more frustrated with each passing day as she kept falling farther behind. The student who was already highly skilled at applying the content in your next lesson. The bright student who was disengaged and on the brink of failing out. The frustration of having to teach to the test when you know that's not what students need most. The fatigue of adopting the newest curriculum only to be switched again in a few years. What these changes can transform in the education. It redefines student success, to address the new skills young people need to navigate post-secondary learning and employment in today's world. Educators can work with their communities to rethink and update the skills and knowledge required for graduation. The changes in employment, learning, and opportunity suggest many deeper learning competencies that are already understood to be important, competencies like problem solving and critical thinking. It connects young people to the world of work, to address the need for practical work experience and training. Educators can provide more robust learning experiences that better connect classroom learning with the real world of adults. There are many ways to do this. It drives the changing world toward equity. Responding to the changing world is a big step for K-12 education, a system known more for its stability than its agility. But what if K-12 became a driver of change in its local communities? The forces contributing to the gaps in opportunity are bigger than K-12 can address on its own. Responding to the trends by helping the most vulnerable students navigate the inequities through learning experiences focused on broader, deeper competencies 1T break the systems that create advantages and disadvantages to begin with. How might K-12 CO create a thriving, equitable community and build the kind of future we all want for our young people? Stay tuned for further transformation thought. God bless.